All right, here we are. Welcome back to the Pokehistorian, everyone. I'm your host, Matt X. This is the show where I flip on this camera and we just talk. Gab about whatever I feel like talking to y'all about. Usually relates to Pokemon cards or life or the intersection of the two things together. So, I want to preface today's video by starting out with this short statement. This video is 100% an opinion piece. So, don't take what I'm saying as gospel or truth or any of that. This is just going to be my opinions. It doesn't mean that I want you to go out and follow anything I say or do anything that I'm doing or thinking for that matter, okay? I just want to get my thoughts out there because some of the stuff I'm seeing out there is annoying me a little bit and I want to speak my mind on it, okay? So here's the thesis of this video. Show's over, folks. The Pokemon card boom is 120% done. And this game has been over now for about 2 months, I would say. And a lot of people out there are trying to deny it and pretend like it's not over, but it's freaking over, okay? Like the writing's on the wall, the blood is in the streets, and I hope you don't mind holding on to your stuff for a little while because you're probably going to be holding on to your stuff for a few years before you see any massive price gains on it, okay? I mean, over the past couple of years, we have seen just insanity in this hobby. We have seen vintage cards quadruple in value. I mean, you got a Quapolis Lugia sitting at like 10 grand. You want a PSA 7 first edition Charizard, it's at 30 grand. The prices on this stuff is insane. All of the Sword and Shield stuff saw very, very massive gains, especially the alternate arts. Scarlet and Violet, pretty much, if it's an illustration rare, it's probably done pretty well and tripled or quadrupled in value. This kind of growth, everyone knows it's not sustainable. And we've reached a point now where things are just not going to grow for a while. And I think a lot of people are still trying to deny that. And they're trying to like, oh, no, we're just in a little summer slowdown. Everything's going to be fine. Don't stop collecting and stop buying stuff. It's bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I don't care if it's summer or not, okay? This whole summer slowdown thing was invented like 2 years ago by YouTube personalities. It's fake, okay? Like this Pokemon card hobby thing, having the massive amount of people in it has only been that way for a few years. So it's way too soon to make up these rules about summer slowdowns and things like that, okay? It's just the way it is. This isn't a summer slowdown. This is the beginning of the cooling off of the Pokemon card market hobby for a while. And I think for one, it's a great thing. We've seen such great gains that I don't think we need to see anymore for a while. I mean, we've gotten to the point where a lot of people just can't afford this stuff. It's way too expensive. I mean, a lot of the Sword and Shield booster boxes are sitting $400, $500, $600, $1,000. Was Evolving Skies is like around like $2,300 or something like that probably. This stuff is too expensive. It just is. And I'm not saying that like I don't mean that it's too expensive by the fact that like, oh, it should never be worth that kind of money. But I mean it's too much money too quick. And in today's society, everything moves very quick, but once it moves up, it has to sit for a while because people have to be able to come up for air and catch their breath on this stuff. I mean, if you saw something go from like $200 to $1,000, are you going to go out and buy it that quickly? Or are you going to kind of go like, well, wait a minute here. That's a lot of price increase. Maybe right now isn't the best time to go ahead and pick this up. And that's what a lot of people are feeling with this stuff. The price increases have just been too much to the point where it makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And these new Pokemon card sets, the Unholy Trinity, Perfect Order, Chaos Rising, Pitch Black, they're further proof of what's going on. Because think about it. If those sets had come out last year when things were truly grooving and moving, they would have done a lot better than they're doing right now. The reason they're not doing so well is because people are getting burned out on this stuff. And truth be told, I think it's a great time to pick up those sets. I think it's a boon for us all. Now we can actually go in there and pick up some cards for great prices. Now, do I think they're going to rock it anytime soon? No, but I think they will have their day, especially Chaos Rising. I'm looking at you. And yeah, I'm going to pick up Froakies. I'm going to pick up Frogadier. And I picked up the Greninja. I think they're really, really sick. And I think there's some card perfect order. You know, you got the Clefairy. That's going to do well long term too. Do I think it's going to be a $50 card by the end of the year? Hell no. But someday it will. And I'm not concerned with what happens in the next few months, and neither should you be. Stop worrying about whether you're going to make money on this crap in the next 2-3 months. It doesn't matter. If you're that pressed for cash, you should really be doing something else with your time besides this stuff, because this is not for you. This was never intended to be some quick flip, get rich quick scheme that people have really turned it into. And I find all of that disgusting, to be honest with you. It's too much. You had your chance to get rich quick, and now that chance is over. So now you're going to have to sit tight and wait like an adult for things to go up like they normally do. So then we turn to what's next. We got a couple new sets coming out. They're going to be pretty successful. We got 30th anniversary and we got Delta Rain. Now, do I think these sets are going to do poorly? Heck no. I think from here on forward, a lot of the new sets that come out, as long as they're good sets, they're going to perform well. There's going to be opportunities for people to scalp and make a quick buck, and there's going to be FOMO attached to them, and you're still going to see some expensive cards here and there. But I don't think that hype around the new sets is going to translate and cause people to, for example, race back to Sword and Shield and buy a Fusion Strike box for $1,000. I don't see it. I think people are just going to have fun with the new sets. They're going to maybe overspend on a few of the new cards that come out, and they're just going to kind of keep moving. So don't let the fact that new sets are coming out and doing well fool you into thinking that we're not in a cooling off period, because we are. Things are never going to cool off, I don't think, to how they were like post-COVID. It's just that was a time where a lot of people left. People really did think that this was like a one-time black swan event and that we would never see it again. People now know that that wasn't true, and likely Pokemon will continue to flare up every few years, like a bad rash or something. I don't know. Weird analogy. So yeah, just be ready to sit tight and don't worry about if your stuff goes up in money, okay? It doesn't matter if your value increases. Go out there and just buy some cool cards you like and appreciate the artwork. Put together some binders. Maybe you want to buy yourself a couple booster box. Maybe you get yourself a Chaos Rising booster box at $180. That's a great price. And just have fun and enjoy other things in your life just besides cards. It's okay. You don't have to make money on this stuff instantly. Relax. You will make money long term. But right now you need to sit down and chill out. Everything's going to be fine. So take it easy. Take a breath. The Pokemon card boom is over. Be ready for it. Get used to it. And let's see what the future holds. I do think it's going to be a bright future for Pokemon long term, okay? But you're just going to have to adjust that the craziness we've seen with all this stuff going up in value simultaneously is over. Anyways, those are my thoughts. These are literally just my opinions. So like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I just wanted to say this stuff out loud because it's been eating me up inside. So like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you want to see when I put out videos. Let me know down in the comments what you think about what's going on, and I'll see you in the next one.